masturbation equals fornication? The biblical truth you were never told. The Bible repeatedly condemns fornication, describing it as sexual immorality, any sexual act outside the covenant of marriage. In 1 Corinthians 6 verse 18, Paul warns, "Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body." This scripture reveals that fornication is not just a moral issue. It's a spiritual contamination that affects both body and soul. But where does masturbation fit into this? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover may challenge everything you thought you knew about purity, lust, and sin. They say it's harmless. Everyone does it. But what if that's not what Scripture teaches? What if the act most people consider private is, in fact, connected to one of the most dangerous spiritual sins the Bible warns against? Fornication. Though the Bible doesn't directly mention the word masturbation, it addresses the root of the act, lust. In Matthew 5 verse 28, Jesus said, "But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart." Think about that. Jesus equates lustful imagination with adultery. Now, masturbation is almost always driven by lustful desire, mental imagery, or sexual fantasy. That means even if no physical partner is involved, the sinful act happens in the heart, the very place where fornication begins. So in essence, masturbation becomes a form of spiritual fornication because it fulfills the same lustful craving outside the bounds of marriage. The world teaches self-gratification as self-care, but the Bible teaches self-control as fruit of the Spirit, Galatians 5 verses 22 to 23. When you give in to lustful desires, you feed the flesh instead of the Spirit. Romans 8 verse 13 says, "For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live." Every act of masturbation strengthens the control of the flesh and weakens your spiritual sensitivity. It's not just a physical release, it's a spiritual compromise. You don't have to live trapped by lust or guilt. The same Bible that warns against fornication also promises deliverance and renewal. In 1 Thessalonians 4 verses 3 to 5, Paul writes, "For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor." The key is not suppression, but sanctification, allowing God's Spirit to purify your desires and renew your mind. Spend time in prayer, fill your heart with the Word, and flee from anything that awakens lust, images, thoughts, or habits. The more you walk with the Spirit, the less power sin has over your life. Masturbation may look harmless to the world, but spiritually, it mirrors the sin of fornication, satisfying desires outside God's divine order. It starts in the mind, grows in lust, and ends in spiritual separation. But here's the good news. God's grace is greater than your weakness. You can be free. You can be clean. You can live pure, not by your strength, but by His.